Tonight you'll hear what the Prime Minister has to say about the Joseph Budna case. Plus, Jules Vasquez will be on set to fill us in on the latest. And we'll talk to the mother of the infant child who died on a water taxi while his parents were bringing him to the hospital. Plus, Isbali is getting ready to become a safe third country for the U.S. to send its unwanted asylum seekers. Also, the city administrator is leaving the post after only 17 months. Jules asked him why today. And we'll have a recap of last night's mass camp madness. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Cuando yo era estudiante, ICB estaba ahí para protegerme, asegurando mi educación y futuro. Cuando obtuve mi primer auto, ICB estaba ahí para protegerme, brindándome una excelente cobertura y tranquilidad en el camino. Cuando nos mudamos a nuestro primer apartamento, ICB estaba ahí para protegernos, asegurando nuestras pertenencias y brindándonos una sensación de seguridad. Y cuando obtuvimos nuestra primer casa, ICB estuvo ahí para nosotros, protegiendo nuestro hogar y todo por lo que hemos trabajado tan duro.
En cada paso del viaje de tu vida, ICB está para ti. Para más información, llámenos al 224-5328 o visite nuestra oficina más cercana.
Belize, are you really free? Can't you feel the chains tightening? The Ministry of Finance is imposing a new tax system on you so they can see all transactions in real time. It starts with invoices, then the national ID, then your biometric data. They call it progress in the name of efficiency and transparency. But we know what it is. It's control. They're building a surveillance web, and you're caught in it. Every move, every payment, every transaction will live on a government server forever. To be analyzed and studied, will it be shared or sold to foreign interests? This data will be more valuable than you will ever know.
Somewhere in all of this, there's another pension plan for the boys.
Privacy isn't a luxury, it's a right. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
In Toyota, we think that when you trust the timing of your life, life becomes easy to drive. Easy to connect. Easy to start. Easy to make friends. Easy to enjoy. Because if you can trust in a car that's easy to drive, shine, and fit, life is also easy to live, trust, and enjoy. Easy to drive is to live life with the confidence that only Toyota can provide you. New Toyota Raves. Easy to drive, easy to live.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
These charter mints aren't from
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Cherie Halsell.
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
They say you should never send a boy to do a man's job. But someone forgot to tell Shine Barrow. This immature little boy thought he could step into his uncle's shoes.
I am unnatural as my father, as my Uncle Finnegan.
He's been propped up by giants, men who built a nation, men who safeguarded democracy, men who stood against the tyranny of a one-party state. Now, this little boy is undoing it all. He's dismantling our nation's democracy, all in service of his insecurity and ego.
I have accomplished so much in life.
Every day, he brings us closer and closer to a one-party state, to a growing dictatorship without any opposition. It's time for this little boy to grow up and step down.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, Prime Minister John Briceño is feeling the pressure of the revelations about the abduction of Joseph Budna in his hometown. Matter of fact, in his own constituency. He's calling on his own Minister of Home Affairs, Karim Musa, to quickly produce a report so that he can make a decision on what to do next. We spoke to him today at the 3rd Investment Summit in San Pedro.
So what do you make of the allegations that the police department, members of the police department was involved in the abduction of Joseph Budna?
Well, that allegation has been done from the very start. What have I said from earlier that I'm waiting for the police report. This morning I called Minister Musa, who is responsible as the Minister of Home Affairs, and I told him that I want that report today or by tomorrow at the very latest. Once I get that report, I will see what is it that they present, and then they will have to decide what is the next step, whether we need to have an independent investigation or what it is. But please allow me to get that before I can be able to comment further.
Would you understand that Cabinet discussed this matter yesterday? Tuesday, wouldn't you have gotten a brief then?
I don't know where you get that information because the Cabinet that I managed we had no discussions about Budna on Tuesday. So somebody give you wrong information.
Have you seen the video that was leaked showing that all signs police were involved?
I have not had a chance to see the video. I've been here busy since yesterday. But again, let me repeat. I will get the report. I have told the minister I want that report today or tomorrow at the very latest. Once I get that report, then we could take the next step forward. And I'm telling you right now, if there's a need to name an independent investigation, I will do it. My government will do it. I repeat once again, this was not sanctioned by the government of Belize. We have absolutely nothing to do with that.
What about releasing the video to the public for transparency?
Which video? I haven't seen any video.
Footage from the areas around the police station.
Again, the report from the police will be able to throw light to all of that.
We are formally requesting the release of all those surveillance footages.
How can you do that if they're doing an investigation?
For transparency.
Yeah, but hold on, relax. We need to get that report.
And while the PM needs to get the report, the leader of the opposition, Tracy Panton, sent him a letter today calling for an independent investigation. The release of all these surveillance videos, quote, without any further delay in the interest of transparency and public trust. She concludes, quote, anything less than an independent, credible investigation will be seen as complicity and cover-up at the highest levels of government. And tonight, the pressure is mounting because of the surveillance video released by this station. Though, to protect the source, we have had to zoom in, which makes it grainy and unclear. It clearly shows what we maintain are police officers carrying out the abduction of a private citizen within sight of the Orange Walk police station in downtown Orange Walk at 8:30 on a Friday night. The emergency of the video makes it clear that these abductors had no concerns about committing a criminal act in front of the station. But the question is, when did Commissioner of Police Richard Rosado see the surveillance videos? Police reportedly went to see it on the day after the abduction, which was Saturday the 23rd. And on Monday, the 25th, Compol Rosado did make reference to the video, but then misspoke about it. Jules Vasquez puts it all together.
I hear something just now. You hear somebody say, Budna. Nobody there wrong here. Make me go.
When Joseph Budna finished this Facebook Live, his abductors were waiting for him right near the police station. He dashed from the Banquitos House of Culture towards the station with one of the men in hot pursuit and a Chevy Equinox trying to cut him off. They caught him there, but he slipped away, and he then dashed back to his vehicle. And he then fell in front of the library across the street, where the abductors viciously beat him for 3 minutes.
I was viciously beaten in my head, gun butt in my head, and with baston, handcuffed, and duct tape, with the grey duct tape across my mouth.
A police officer at the station who heard the ruckus responded, but was waved off.
And when the police officer stepped out, the police officer said, they are police officers and they are acting upon a commission. And the police leave them.
Many have pointed to this officer, PC Barry Flowers, as the one in the video. In response to a Facebook page that implicated him, he said, quote, he's wrongfully associated with such a serious matter and that he has the utmost respect for the rule of law and that he condemns a criminal act in the strongest terms. As for his boss, the Commissioner of Police, in a press conference where his body language did not project confidence, Rosado denied what the footage clearly showed.
But our investigation so far has not revealed that any police officer approached those individuals. And it was shown in the camera footage that only the confrontation were among 4 individuals.
It's a telling comment. He refers with specific knowledge to the footage, and we know what that shows. A corporal of police responding. But why then would the Compol lie about something shown so plainly on the footage? And despite having apparently seen the video, which overtly points to police black ops, he said,
I will unequivocally state that at no time I nor the police department was involved in the apprehension of Budna or to his alleged extradition. And I will maintain that.
But what he maintains cannot be supported by what the evidence shows. So who will investigate? But you can see that people, the public, would not have confidence in such an investigation because you may be investigating rogue officers. There is no assurance of transparency once there's an allegation of police officers and police are investigating.
And allegation like this is what creates a vacuum of trust that I must correct, that I must see how we can be more transparent and accountable.
Jules, welcome back. In the story, you referred very specifically to what you believe are inaccuracies stated by the commissioner at the press conference 10 days ago. Tell us what this means now. And by the way, welcome. Thank you for joining us again tonight.
Yes, thanks for having me. I don't want to abuse the platform, but we have to keep underscoring certain things because we have to have the right outcome. What concerns me is that Rosado, as you all heard in the story, made reference to the security video.
Okay.
He said it doesn't show any police officer coming over, when it clearly does. And they had that security video on Saturday. So it's very concerning. They had it on Saturday, August 23rd. He spoke on Monday, August 25th. As I said last night, it was his job and his duty to see those videos before. I believe he saw them before. What concerns me is that he deliberately misspoke. More than once in the press conference, he started off by referring it to as a SUV, and then he referred to it later on as a car. That level of confusion is not acceptable for a case of such high profile. We all make mistakes, I understand. But that level of confusion suggests subterfuge. It suggests obfuscation. It suggests that you are deliberately trying to mislead us. There are multiple red flags in that press conference for that. Mr. Rosado remains out of the country. He went to Taiwan for a meeting in an official capacity. I understand he returns tomorrow evening. Now, I mention that because the Prime Minister in his statement said that he very urgently wants the report from the Minister of Home Affairs. I'm not sure how he will get that report if Mr. Rosado isn't here. Yes, I understand, but he's traveling, right? It's not that he has to be here, there are phones, etc. But I'm very interested in seeing that the Prime Minister very urgently wants this report. Remember, this happened in his constituency. Didn't happen in another part of the country. It happened in Orange Walk Central. No, there are, as I said, number of red flags in the press conference, but number of red flags coming to us in the past few days. We've heard that a number of police officers who have been allegedly implicated in this have received promotions. Now, a lot of names are going around. We mentioned a name in there, Mr. Flowers, and he has denied it flatly. Fine. I haven't heard that name once or twice. I've heard it at least 24 times by people who saw the video. But he denies it, and fine, accepted. Right. But I'm concerned about the promotions. There are reliable reports that a number of officers have gotten special promotions. The exams are not until next month. Special promotions are for special officers. For example, an officer who is still an acting corporal gets promoted to sergeant. Not even confirmed as corporal, jumps up to sergeant. And this is one of the officers whose name is being mentioned in this, among these four. There are a number of promotions, and my concern is that these are being given out as inducements to these police officers to keep quiet. And they can only be given out by the special promotions can only be given out by the Commissioner of Police. And I'm reliably informed they are being given out. And that is an inducement to pervert the course of justice.
What is the timeline for the promotions, Sir Jules?
Monday, the 25th.
Okay.
Monday, August 25th.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm still hearing about them.
Okay.
But if promotions are being given, and this, we don't have the factual information, we have to go on best reports. If that is the case, it becomes something of a higher level because that is an inducement to pervert the course of justice. And if people sworn to protect the law and uphold the law are inducing others to pervert the course of justice, it is of concern. I have to raise it.
This is speculative at this point, however.
It is reliable information, but
Okay.
I do not have the documents in my hand because those documents are the domain of the highest level of the
Fair
police
enough.
headquarters. I don't have Mr. Rosado here to ask him.
Okay.
So that is my concern. But we want answers on it. But I know, man, I'm saying like this then, who last week they were corporal and they have informed their peers, I am now a sergeant. Right? And these are people who were along that chain. We have to wait and see. But you know, the issue that we quickly need to go through is that the Prime Minister, there are many concerning things in his statement. Clearly, he's under pressure.
But he's also asked for an investigation.
Yes. He's,
by whom?
Well, and that's the question. How can he rely on a credible police investigation when police are implicated? I'm saying you all saw in the video. A police officer, a corporal, at the Orange Walk station came face to face with the abductors. They had an exchange and nothing happened. You have a witness. I'm repeating myself, I'm aware.
Yes.
He went back into the station, did not make an entry in the diary. Nobody did anything. This is criminal collusion. So I'm just saying, you expect these people to investigate
It's a kangaroo court.
It's laughable, but he's urgently waiting on this investigation, and this investigation will for him confirm everything. But what amazes me, or what the Prime Minister says, and what concerns me, he loves to boast. I don't watch the news. I don't watch you. I don't watch this one. He told Budna in their exchange, well, I don't watch you, but people tell me. He's informed by people constantly seeing the media, consuming media for him. But he says, I have not had a chance to see the video. Bro, it takes 40 seconds to see what we aired. That's my first concern. Second concern, why couldn't those videos be brought? Yes, that's what he said today. I've not had a chance to see the video. So then why weren't the videos brought to cabinet? Why weren't they displayed in cabinet? Why have they showed no interest? It happened in your constituency. You had an exchange with the man the day before. It's of a political interest to you. So to me, it's unacceptable that the Prime Minister will say it. I understand he's busy at the investment summit. But how will you say, I have not seen the video that I've been busy here since yesterday? But when he gets this report, he's going to tell us if there's a need to do an independent investigation. I believe there's a large majority of the population which seeing this knows that the police cannot investigate that. They know that the police cannot investigate that. They know that there's a need for an independent investigation. So he was asked today very specifically about releasing the video to the public. And he said, how can you do that if they're doing the investigation? Sir, we are not asking you to open the 7 seals of the apocalypse. This is a public event that happened in the street.
Of course.
It is not a homicide.
Does not impede.
It is not a homicide.
Right, of course not. Yeah.
It has to be seen because police officers allegedly were involved. So what concerns me is that he's using the mask of the investigation to say, oh, we can't lift the 7 seals, the apocalypse will unfold. No, sir. This is what must be seen now, and it must be seen urgently. It did not happen in someone's yard. It did not happen in their home. It happened on the public street. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, your government controls at least 4 high-definition recordings of this. At least 4. Ministry of Natural Resources, Treasury Department, Library, Social Security. Your government controls that. I ask you, sir, please release it urgently so that Belizeans can see in full high definition, so that we don't have to watch this grainy stuff, so that we can see. Why is it being protected? Why is the Commissioner of Police knowingly misstating what shows clearly on the tape, that a police, on the video, that a police officer came over? These are all flags that concern the public greatly. And the Prime Minister is just trying to hide behind, wait until we get this report. Who is doing the report? How much can you rely on the report? You have to look at the video yourself. You just have to tell one person. There are 4 videos. Now no longer in the custody of the government, you know. Those DVRs were erased. I pray the police has them. But there are 4 videos you can look at. They were erased. The DVRs were returned. Okay. cleaned.
Yeah, okay.
Let's hope the police have them. Let's hope the police have them. But you cannot trust the police because the commissioner himself has been publicly misspeaking about what is clear on the video.
And the copy that you saw, would that be something that can be used? That's a copy.
Yes, but I'm saying that they have the version. The police have the
Of course,
version
I understand.
extracted from the hard drive.
Okay.
So, but I'm saying that I can't believe that the Prime Minister said it wasn't even discussed in the cabinet. Nobody discussed it. I know how busy they are, but I can't believe that something of such prominent public attention would not be discussed in the cabinet. The Prime Minister is under pressure, and he has to do the right thing and urgently release the files, urgently appoint an independent investigation. He cannot wait for an investigation done by the same police. Just ask to see the video. You don't have to wait for the big report. Just say, boy, make us see the full video there. Make a take out, because
one.
it's 5 minutes each.
Just need one.
Right? 8:30 to 8:36 p.m. Just make us a 2 of them. 12 minutes it will take you. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, will form a clear conclusion about what happened in your constituency, sir.
Well, the claim of just having somebody being abducted and taken over to Guatemala alone is huge enough, whoever it is, to be able to allow you to look at it in a national way.
To justify
Of course,
it, certainly.
Of course.
Certainly to justify.
So what happens next, Jules?
Well, we have to wait until the Prime Minister sees this report. He's got the whole world in his hands. But we hope that it is done, that enough public pressure builds. And I am certainly a part of that. I have reached out to the Bar Association personally. I have reached out to the Defense Attorneys Association. I will reach out to the unions to get everyone to issue a statement, as has the leader of the opposition, who I did not reach out to get them to issue a statement demanding a public investigation, independent investigation, and to see the videos. I am sure we will see no release from the Bar Association. They are the honor guard of the status quo in this country. But the defense attorneys will release a statement and will others. So we have to keep ramping up the pressure in the name of transparency.
I feel that, I know that there was a lot of outrage last night when we spoke about it openly, but I don't know if there's been some sort of fatigue over the whole issue, because I feel like
everybody's tired of hearing.
Yeah,
everybody's tired of hearing the word Budna.
Of course, and it's September.
And I am tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
But
it's
an urgent matter that requires public attention and a resolution.
Yes.
Mr. Prime Minister, you want this to go away? Just release the stuff and we'll be on our way.
Jules, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing that with us. Moving on for tonight, from the Budna case to the case of Sebastian Pop, who was abducted in February of 2023 by a Guatemalan mob. The Prime Minister put the blame on the family. He says no one came to the government for help.
Well, obviously, that just came to light to us. Nobody came to us to make any kind of report to us that this happened. I think it was in 2022, 2023, and we could not take action if we did not know about it. So now that it has come to us, I think the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I think, should have already taken steps. I think the Minister has said so, and writing a diplomatic note. But it seems also that this man has been accused of murdering somebody in Guatemala. So we do not condone anybody coming into our country and abduct people illegally. But also, if you committed a crime elsewhere, I think we can't turn our heads to that.
To correct the Prime Minister, the family says they went to the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Home Affairs and Police, but claims they were ignored. After the break, we'll talk to the family of that infant child who died on the boat while his parents were rushing him to the city for urgent medical care. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquet. Equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Make every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Sheree Culfil, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
However you travel, you're home. Book now and save 50% only at NIA.
My opponent in Mesopotamia is Michael Finnegan. So as long as he is alive...
This is how Shine Barrow treats his uncle. The man who raised him. The man who gave Shine his only win in 2020.
I wanted him to win. I think he's a good person.
Now he's destroying his uncle's legacy.
You lost by a commanding margin. You came in last. 8 out of every 10 voters rejected you. Maybe politics isn't for you.
I do believe it's for me, or I would not have gone right back into the constituency and keep doing what I've been doing.
But what you've been doing isn't working and will never work. You've smashed your uncle's 6-term legacy. You're destroying your family name. When people think back on the name Barrow, they won't talk about your father's 3-term leadership or your uncle's 6-term loyalty to his division. They'll remember only one thing: your selfish struggle for power, how you tore your family and party apart. The men who came before you built legacies, but all you've built is ruin. It's time for you to grow up and step down.
Why on wake up, on stop the dream. Lot of sharks, they boat. We better roll before we eat on up. Belize Premier Basketball League presents the Toucan Cup Playoffs Game 1. It's all going down this Friday, September 5th, 2025, inside the Belize Civic Center. Come and witness the Tiger Sharks versus Griga Dream Ballers. Game 1 was sell off, yes. Bring out the entire family for this one. Gates open at 7:30 p.m. and tip off at 9 p.m. Kids, $5. General, $10. VIP, $20. Courtside, $30. Music juggling by the Bud Zone, Yo Generals. So let's make it a date this Friday inside the Belize Civic Center, September 5th, 2025. San Pedro Tiger Sharks versus Griga Dream Ballers. The Toucan Cup Playoffs, Game 1. See you there. Sponsors include
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
A dehydrated 2-year-old died while being transported from San Pedro to Belize City for treatment yesterday on a water taxi. Tonight, the parents are saying that when they brought the baby in for medical care, the Polyclinic had overlooked them despite the baby showing no signs of improvement. Jomari Lanza spoke with the grieving mother today, and here's what she said happened.
When these two parents exhausted all their options to seek care for their 2-year-old infant on the island, they caught the next boat out. But by then, it was too late, and they had to endure the agony of an hour-long boat ride, clutching their infant son's lifeless body. Mother of little Khalil Na, who spoke with us today at the KHMH and told us that she had been monitoring her son's fever from since the weekend, but never thought his condition would have worsened so quickly.
My babies are feeling bad since Saturday after midday. I was trying to treat him, the fever, I was giving him Tylenol. Although my baby was bad, he was still playing. He was still smiling like any other time he gets sick, which was rare. My baby was a healthy baby. Rare the time he got sick. So Monday, although I saw him better, I still took him to the Polyclinic. And I told him, in fact, me, my next daughter, and the baby passed. And I took 2 of them for the same thing, which was fever, cough, and vomiting. They just gave him medication for vomiting and fever. They never tell me when my baby got, if they got infection or maybe it's just a virus. They just gave me the medication. Now, Monday night, my baby was already feeling more bad. You could already see his sad face. He was still walking and trying to play, but you could have seen the difference. Tuesday after lunch, I took him to a private doctor up north. All they gave him was an injection for the vomiting. That was more or less like around 5 or 6 at the end of the attend him. Now, around 8, I'm not seeing my baby. He wasn't getting better. So I took him back to the polyclinic on the emergency side. They took me in and then told me they would put him drips. I was okay. They started picturing my baby over and over. They can't find his veins. They spent like almost 2 hours to try to find his veins.
They ended up admitting her baby at the emergency, and they were only able to treat him orally. But by morning, the doctor's shift was over, and they passed Khalil on to the next doctor on shift. And according to her, the baby was stable. But Garcia knew she was wrong.
They did him an x-ray. They did manage to get some blood. She told me everything was good. His lungs were good. But I told her my baby's not good. My baby wasn't waking up. My baby me cool. Tell my baby no sleep for long. His eyes were getting swell. And she replied to me that it's normal for a baby to sleep when they're sick because that's the way. They tried to get back, but I don't know, my baby no. He wasn't even smiling, they're talking. They nebulize him like 3 times. That's one of the last thing they did, apart from one injection they didn't give her. And she told me I have to come to Belize. She sent me for an emergency checkup with a pediatrician. But she tell me that my baby me not good. I know my baby never good. My baby wasn't the same.
Running out of options and desperately seeking care for their child, Garcia says they bought boat tickets and hoped they would get to the KHMH in time. But her baby never made it.
She tell me you have to go up on next boat to go make it to Belize today. But my baby never make it. And reach Kikaka, my baby never make it. I feel like they could have done better. Like my baby didn't receive the medical assistance he may need. I feel like they could have done better if they knew that they were see nothing, no difference. They could have sent me to Belize earlier. Or at least help me with the flight that moment that they gave me out. But not really tell me, it'd be best you tell me if you grab the boat and carry your baby in Belize today. I feel like they never respond to he the proper way. And when I don't know, right now I don't know. I like to tell you that I know they could have do more. They could have do more than what they do.
A release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness says the child was admitted at the Island Polyclinic for management of an acute respiratory infection and dehydration. Upon signs of improvement, the parents were advised to seek specialist care for further management. Tonight, many are asking if they should not have done more diligent aftercare, since young children and babies are much more delicate than adults when they're dehydrated. Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
The ministry adds that they are reviewing the circumstances surrounding the care provided to the child at the San Pedro Polyclinic and the events leading up to his death. This is a coroner's case, therefore we await the results of the autopsy. And the PM admitted that the government needs to do more for the quality of health care in San Pedro. And while nothing will bring back baby Khalil, he reiterated that the island's new hospital is currently under construction.
My heart goes out to the family, without a doubt. But if you were to remember, we're building a hospital. And we're hoping that hospital, hopefully sometime next year, I've not gone lately to check. Maybe I should go on between today and tomorrow to see how far the construction is. But once we have that hospital, then we'll be able, God willing, to prevent those tragedies that, my heart goes to this family, and I can't imagine having to when my children were small or my granddaughter. So, yes, we have to do better, and that is why we're building a hospital in San Pedro.
And in other news, GOB is still in negotiations with the U.S. government for the MCC grant, $250 million, which was earmarked for education and energy. But with the change of administration in that country, there are changes in the agreement. While the value may remain the same, the PM explained that the U.S. government wants to invest more in energy and potentially fossil fuels. Here's what he told us.
Well, that's what they're proposing. So now we need to sit down and to discuss. Basically, what they're saying, they want to remove more from education to put it into energy, and also then from energy to move to look at not only in sustainable or renewable sources of energy, but also using fossil fuels. Obviously, that is the new government from the new American government. They have this emphasis on fossil fuels, so I think it's just reflecting that. We will do our very best to try to talk to them, to point out, to make the point that Belize is a country known for its natural beauty, its sustainable development policies, and that we want to move more into renewable sources of energy and try to control as best as we possibly can the expansion of fossil fuels.
And the MCC grant isn't the only negotiation that GOB is having with the U.S. government. Back in January, the PM had said definitively that Belize would not act as a safe third country for the U.S. to deport illegal migrants. But now, 8 months later, it seems that he's going back on that position. Today, he said that they're negotiating. And if they open Belize's borders, it will be within very strict boundaries.
We're working on it. We have had discussions. We brought it to Cabinet, and the Cabinet has given the green light to continue the negotiations. But basically, what we will do, should we get to that point, and we are in negotiations with the U.S. government, or with the U.S. government, is that we are going to determine what countries or what region that would be allowed to come, the people to be able to come. We will determine how much we will allow people to come into Belize. It's not going to be open. We're going to say we want 100 or 10 or 50. We're working on that number. I could assure you it's not going to be a large number. And thirdly, we want to ensure that whenever that happens, then that the funding would be sent over to be able to allow these people to be able to settle into Belize whilst that their case goes through the U.S. courts.
We told you yesterday that Kikaka has signed a petition to have a referendum to vote on the legalization of marijuana on the island. That referendum will be held on October 8th, but while GOB isn't sure how legalizing it for one small part of the country would work, today the PM said that this has revealed glaring loopholes in the act that need to be fixed ASAP.
Well, there's not much information more that there's going to be a referendum on the 8th of October in Kikaka. But what is important, though, what that has shown us, that there is some weaknesses in the Referendum Act, that it is allowing now, even because of the definition of how to hold a referendum is not properly defined by geographic area, like a district, or by constituency area. It's not being defined. So now here we have a village, in effect, saying that they want to have a referendum, and legally we could not have stopped it. So We are going to the National Assembly next week to make some amendments to ensure that those things can't happen, because then, any Lee village could call for a referendum for whatever it is that they want. And we want to make sure that we don't do that, one. But secondly, also that to ensure that if they want to have a referendum, it has to be something specifically just for them that does not have national implications. For instance, if Kikaka would want to have a referendum to limit the number of golf carts, it is something that should be done. It should be allowed. But when you issue of something like cannabis, it's something that has national implications. So then we need to be able to define those nuances as to when you could have a referendum, a national or just a local referendum.
Since the start of this month, Belgians who are applying for a passport no longer need a recommender. Today, the PM and Minister of Immigration said the change was long overdue and that the process should be made simple for Belizeans.
It is a big thing because as a citizen of this country, you have a right to get a passport. You have your birth certificate and you have all of the necessary. Nobody needs to recommend you to get a passport. And then what has happened after that? You have a lot of JPs standing over by the passport office, and you come from Orange Rock and they say, oops, I need to sign. I don't know nobody. And they go out there and say, hey, I had a JP and sign it, and they charge you a fee, which you shouldn't do. It is unnecessary. There are certain things that we have to move from immigration. For instance, when people apply for a permanent residency or they apply for a nationality, they can't leave the country for more than a year. Those are things that were put in place 50, 60, maybe 100 years ago. Today, people have to travel. Once you can show that you're living in Belize and you may need to go to business in the United States or Mexico or wherever it is, you should be allowed to. Or if you go to visit a family that's sick or whatever, that should not prevent you from getting your PR or your nationality. So we have to be modernizing these laws in immigration and to make it more transparent and easier for those that are applying and those that need the services from the immigration department.
And in other news, City Administrator Albert Vaughan has announced that he is moving on. He leaves that most senior municipal post at the end of October, which means that he will have served there for 14 months. That's a relatively short stint, not even half of the 3-year term of the council. It's also surprising when one considers that he was a consensus political favorite when he took up the job after serving 2 terms as an elected councillor. Today, Jules Vasquez asked him why he's leaving.
It's a tough decision. Who would want to look at this office? Look who I just... When I came here, I didn't have a blazer. Look, I have a blazer though, huh? It's a good job, but then Albert Vaughan has to think what Albert Vaughan wants to do going forward. And so that decision has to be made. It's a tough decision. It's a decision that I made, and I think that people understand that I talk to why I have to make this decision. It's a personal decision I'm leaving. It has nothing to do with the council. As I said, the council is a great council. The mayor and his team is very good. We have excellent relationship. But I want to go somewhere. It's a personal decision I make. I speak to my family, I speak to my good friends, my people who guide me, and they encourage me that now is why not now? Why wait until later?
Your critics will say it's because you couldn't do the job. The job was above your capacity. It calls for very specific skills with management, with finance, with all these things, that you don't know that. How do you respond to that criticism?
Yeah, no. In life, everybody has an opinion, and even the critics would look back and say that I have really produced, I have really moved the team forward here. Since coming here, we have done a lot, Jules. I have met every expectation that they may have put down on us here. I know at the beginning there was a little here and there with the councillors. I have absolutely no problem with my councillors. I have an open door policy. They come walk in here, we deal with business, they walk out here. We don't anytime get at each other's throat. We respect each other and we work together.
It sounds utopian. Why would anyone ever want to leave?
Well, as I mentioned, it's a personal issue.
Are you moving on to take over the presidency of Niche?
Jules don't do that to me. As I say, give me a little time. I will go somewhere. That's what I normally do, right? But no, I don't. I am not saying that I am going anywhere. I am just saying that it's a personal issue for me to leave. Going down the road, the other things will open up and I will see where I fit into that.
We'll have more of that interview tomorrow when we'll ask him for the best advice he'll give to his successor. Unconfirmed reports say that he will be replaced by Dr. Candy Spitz, most recently the Belizean ambassador to Taiwan. In July, Justice Adrian Saunders stepped down as the president of Belize's apex court, the CCJ. He sat on the CCJ for 20 years, 7 of those as the court's third president. He's currently visiting Belize for a regional law conference, and he came to our studio today where we asked him about the CCJ's role in decolonizing justice.
Decolonizing justice is a task which all the branches of government have to assist with. And decolonizing justice is not really about blaming Britain or seeking to escape from the thrall, the bondage of colonialism. It's also about modernization, because justice in the 21st century is not what it was in the 19th century. We have to embrace core technology. We have to ensure that we are in step with new concepts of courts. In other words, you have to not regard the physical structure of the court as the necessary locus for your decision making and for the work that you do with your customers. And you have to regard your litigants and the lawyers as your customers. You have to think about what Professor Susskind calls outcome thinking. That is, don't get caught up in the form, don't get caught up in the process, get caught up in the outcome. The outcome is justice. And sometimes those ways and means are fettered by the colonial constructs and models that we have inherited.
I'm saying that the norms of the court were probably defined in the 1800s. But in this 21st century, especially with the advance of media at every turn, the local courts are very visibly out of step. The CCJ is not. The CCJ has all its hearings online. What is it that has guided the courts to such an enlightened position? Cynically, one would say, well, it's hawking its wares in order to try and induce other countries to join. But favorably, one would say, it's trying to keep step with the times.
Both of them. It was important that the institutional mechanisms that underpinned the CCJ were such as to ensure that the court was efficient, the court was transparent, the court was independent. And we have built on that foundation over the years. And the point that you've just made, that the importance of transparency, of the public being able to have a look in. We talk about open court. These days, the concept of open court is not that the courtroom, the physical courtroom door is open for people to go in. That is all right. But the court could only hold 20 people or 30 people or 40 people. The concept of open court is that people, the housewife who is at home, can look on her monitor and see the case that she has an interest in, what the judge is saying, what the lawyers are saying, what the witnesses are saying, have that made available to them through the modern methods of communication that are available to us. And
would you exhort local courts to follow that example?
By our example, we do. And when we have conferences, we point out the advantages and benefits of it. Because, too, it is also a check on frankly, the conduct of judges. So I certainly am a big supporter of cameras in the courtroom. There was a time 30, 40 years ago when people were skittish about it and not sure. I think we've gone past that. And it's something that people like yourself should champion.
We'll have part 2 of that interview tomorrow when we ask Saunders about the court's inability to get the big Caribbean countries to adopt the CCJ as their courts of final appeal. In other legal news, the Judicial Education Institute, in partnership with the Senior Courts of Belize, today are holding a specialized 2-day training seminar on case management of criminal matters. The training includes magistrates, clerks of court, and judicial research assistants. Basically, all those who work closely in the preparation and management of criminal cases and files. Jo Marie Lanza reports.
Magistrates, judicial officers, registrars, and clerks of court gathered to partake in a seminar on case management of criminal cases, being offered as part of the UNDP's Pace Justice program. Their team lead gave us more details on what the focuses of the training are.
Today we have 70 judicial personnel, particularly new existing magistrates, being trained in case management. So we're excited to have professionals from Spain and also from Trinidad Court of Appeal. These are judicial educators specifically trained in case management. They will be teaching the magistrates and other judicial professionals how to improve their case management. We also have senior court judges from Belize, such as Justice Nigel Pilgrim, Justice Antoinette Moore, Justice Cumberbatch, adding into that dialogue to see, how can we improve it? And you may ask, what does that mean? What's the impact for Belize? So case management is very important. You always hear people say, okay, my case has been adjourned. My case, I've been waiting a couple years to get justice. So for humanless, that means that you wouldn't have to be waiting so long. For example, if you're an accused person, you're living with perhaps shame upon you, you haven't had your matter heard as yet. That may also affect your families. That may affect your employment opportunities. That can also affect persons who are on remand. So this is really critical. It's transformative. Change doesn't happen overnight, but all of these efforts really work to improve the justice system. So UNDP, through the support from the EU, we're really, really pleased to support this initiative.
The Pace Justice program has a number of layers to it that all connect to improving the flow of cases in and out of the system. The EU program manager explained why the program was of interest to them in finding a solution to the backlog of cases in the criminal justice system.
So the European Union is the funder of an initiative which is ongoing, implemented by UNDP. The project is called Pace Justice. This project is supporting 8 countries in the Caribbean, including Belize, to tackle the really serious issue of the backlog in the criminal justice system. So it is an initiative that is taking a fully holistic 360-degree approach and looking at what can be done to, in terms of system transformation. How do we transform the justice system in a way that it is really responding to the needs of the people? The issue of the backlog of criminal cases is really a big problem in many countries in the Caribbean. So we've partnered with the judiciary, with the Judicial Education Institute of Belize, with UNDP to look at concrete solutions to make sure that we aggressively look at the issue from different perspectives when it comes to training, when it comes to opportunities to improve and modernize the case management of cases that the courts deal with. And specifically, the training is about this today, but also contributing modern equipment, software, and so on. We're pushing forward also with the digitization agenda. Digital transformation is a very important thing that the government is working on across sectors. So we're excited to also contribute our know-how and our expertise in this area as well, so that the court system can better serve the needs of the people. As we know, it can be very frustrating for victims, for families, to be waiting for years for a resolution. People are grieving, people are hurt, and of course demanding justice. So this is one of the things that we're working on together.
Chief Magistrate Deborah Rogers spoke more about how this seminar will benefit officers to improve their work skills and address the gaps and backlogs in the system.
We get to see what trends are out there in the region, what's working, what's not, how do we modify our internal processes to be able to be more efficient, to fast-track cases before the court, classify cases by seriousness, prioritization, and forums like this are usually geared toward judicial officers, judges and magistrates. So this is one of the first trainings that we've actually extended to our clerks of court. Our clerks of court work very closely with each district magistrate in putting together our daily bundles, scheduling matters, prioritizing matters. They really are our right hand. So we saw it very necessary to include them in this capacity building training. It's something that we hope to continue in the future. When we think about judicial education, usually we think about judges' trainings, how they can improve on their skill, new trends in law. But the thing about case management is that it is not a strict legal principle. It is a matter of how we manage our courts in order to process cases. So we're very excited to partner with UNDP. We have been able to put a lot of projects in place, and UNDP has been right there by our side. The magistracy is looking forward to taking the tools that we get from this training and seeing how it can fit within the structure that we have.
Jomari Lanza, 7 News.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take you to the 3rd Investment Summit in San Pedro. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Belize, are you really free? Can't you feel the chains tightening? The Ministry of Finance is imposing a new tax system on you so they can see all transactions in real time. It starts with invoices, then the national ID, then your biometric data. They call it progress in the name of efficiency and transparency. But we know what it is. It's control. They're building a surveillance web, and you're caught in it. Every move, every payment, every transaction will live on a government server forever. To be analyzed and studied, will it be shared or sold to foreign interests? This data will be more valuable than you will ever know.
Somewhere in all of this, there's another pension plan for the boys.
Privacy isn't a luxury, it's a right. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
Que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados y la mejor opción para el paciente.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority.
Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
However you travel, you're home. Book now and save 50% only at NIA.
My opponent in Mesopotamia is Michael Finnegan. So as long as he is alive...
This is how Shine Barrow treats his uncle. The man who raised him. The man who gave Shine his only win in 2020.
I wanted him to win. I think he's a good person.
Now he's destroying his uncle's legacy.
You lost by a commanding margin. You came in last. 8 out of every 10 voters rejected you. Maybe politics isn't for you.
I do believe it's for me, or I would not have gone right back into the constituency and keep doing what I've been doing.
But what you've been doing isn't working and will never work. You've smashed your uncle's 6-term legacy. You're destroying your family name. When people think back on the name Barrow, they won't talk about your father's 3-term leadership or your uncle's 6-term loyalty to his division. They'll remember only one thing: your selfish struggle for power, how you tore your family and party apart. The men who came before you built legacies, but all you've built is ruin. It's time for you to grow up and step down.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The 2025 Belize Investment Summit kicked off yesterday, but the official addresses, presentations, and panels didn't start until today. One of the opening ceremony's leading speakers, Adam Stewart, spoke about redefining the luxury experience. Stewart is the executive chairman of Sandals Resort International, which has 20 locations across the Caribbean. He zeroed in on what Belize has going for it: the natural environment. But he explained that just having lush forests and pristine waters isn't enough. Here's a snippet of his speech.
This territory, this archipelago, this region of the world is labeled as developing, as third world. And one of the most important things that sits at the center of the success of Sandals, and I'll tell you all about Sandals in a minute, is mindset. And it is the mindset to believe that we can achieve anything in our own backyards and front yards, right here in Belize, or in Jamaica, or in St. Lucia, or anywhere in this archipelago. That we shouldn't be labeled and put in a box where we somehow believe that it's better somewhere else in the world. Tourism is the most awesome amplifier to any economy. It is one of the fastest transfers of wealth and foreign exchange drivers, where a visitor can come, can have the time of their life, and willingly hands over foreign currency that stays in our banking sector to shore us up so we can trade and do more business. Parts of the world would die, literally die, to have the natural beauty that the Almighty gave you here in this archipelago known as Belize. There are countries that spend, companies, not countries, that spend billions of dollars trying to recreate Mother Nature. As we look at tourism and what tourism really is all about, some people want the big city lights. Some people want Saks Fifth Avenue and high-end shopping. There are different segments and different customers in tourism that are looking for different things. When I look at the flying time from here to Miami, you are a hop, skip, and a jump away from the largest economy in the world. You have to roll with the punches of who you are naturally. And who you are naturally, in my mind, I see Belize everywhere. I've seen it at a distance always. You're a Mother Nature overload. I also see people in each country that say, my country is the greatest country in the world and people need to come to it. And in many instances, that is almost true. But we can never forget when we say that customers have optionality. Planes fly everywhere in the world every day. And it means you have to earn it because the world owes us absolutely nothing. The world stands still for nothing. We all have 24 hours in a day, and those who win are those who put on the pedestal their destination.
The summit concludes tomorrow. One of the biggest investments on deck for the government of Belize is the conversion of the Port of Belize into a modernized cruise and bulk cargo port. It's being touted as a $400 million project. He gave us an update on how that's going.
I think it's an exciting project. We know that we had a shared history with the Port of Belize, and the previous group that had it under receivership, they were not investing. They were taking out monies to supposedly pay loans, and that's another matter. We felt that we were being held hostage because they did not get the ESIA approval. And so they said, we felt that no investments were being done. So we felt that the best thing is to be able to negotiate. Unlike what the previous government did to just strong arm things and you end up paying a lot more, we negotiated and we negotiated hard and we bought the port. I think we paid about $190 million. And once we got that, then we said, no, we need to modernize it. We need a cruise port. As I pointed out, the container port, the equipment is more than 50 years old. That has outlived its life. And so we need to modernize it. And so what we've been doing since then, we made a study, took it to cabinet. Everything is decided by the cabinet. I made up a paper to present a paper to cabinet as to what position do we want to do, only a container port, only a cruise port, or both of them. And the cabinet said in their wisdom that we need to do both. And so now we come up to an estimate. It is estimated around $140 million US dollars. And then after that, we work on a master plan. That was presented to Cabinet. Cabinet has accepted the master plan. We started to meet with potential investors like SSA Marine from BlackRock. The company is owned by BlackRock in the United States. We have Global Ports Holding from Turkey. Both of these companies have been building ports not only in the U.S. but also in the region and internationally. So these are bona fide investors that will come in. We've been talking to, we're trying to prepare also to start to do the dredging. And so this time around, what we've decided to do is the excess material that we can't use, we're going to build these, what they call mangrove forests, pretty much about 400 acres of, it's not going to be one block of 400, but small islands that will cover about 400 acres, and to plant mangroves in it. It has been done. I think it is in Paraguay, in South America, successfully. So we want to replicate that, and that will be able to address that issue of what you're going to do with all of that excess material.
And while there are serious investors looking at the port who would underwrite the massive costs associated with rowing the Tren Maya into Belize, nonetheless, the idea remains live after recent discussions with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. And in what we can only conclude is a fit of fantasy, the Prime Minister added that he believes PBL would be the ideal hub for it.
Know that when we met with Sheinbaum and Arevalo from Guatemala, with our discussions, as I pointed out to them, Belize alone can't build Tren Maya. It's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars to build it through Belize. But it has to be a regional consortium of private sector and public sector to be able to come together. Don't get excited. We have to do the studies yet. IDB, I just spoke with Thomas from the IDB, and he said they're prepared to be able to help to finance the study, to be able to see how best to position the Tren Maya. And in our discussion there, then I realized that, if we were to do that, the best place for the Tren Maya to make its main hub would be at the port of Belize, because then we can move containers to Mexico and also to Guatemala, because both of them they need that extra service that they don't have. And then it goes on connecting to Guatemala. It's a long-term project. It's a visionary project. And again, one of our biggest problems in Belize, we like things small. We have to think big. We're not just 430,000. We are a market that have access to 200 million consumers. And whenever I pitch to investors abroad and I tell them, listen, don't think Belize. If you want to invest in energy in Belize, don't think about energy for Belize. Connecting to the Central American grid. We can sell energy into that grid. Right now, Guatemala has put a bid for 1 billion megawatts of energy. We could produce it here and sell it into that grid. Mexico that have problems in meeting their demand, we could then not only buy from them, but be able to sell. So we need to think big and see how we can get these things done. When you look at what Adam Stewart said from Sandals, in his presentation just now, he made the point that here you have Sandals now. It's relatively small internationally in the world, in Mexico, United States and so forth. 20,000 employers is still big, but they have managed to, what is it said, about 80% of Americans know about Sandals. That's thinking big, and that's what we have to do.
At the Investment Summit today, Sucro Limited and Santander Sugar Limited signed an MoU for the creation of Caribbean Sugar Refinery Limited. The $20 million project will establish a modern refinery within Santander's mill in Valley of Peace, with operations expected to begin in 2026. The refinery intends to supply more than 75% of refined sugar demand across CARICOM. The PM told us more about it.
I think this is an exciting step, because basically with their partners, they are going to put a refinery here at the Santander plant. And why is it important? Well, it's important simply because then all of our sugar, or most of our sugar, then can be refined. So we add value, and then we sell it into CARICOM, where we get a better price. And how do our farmers benefit? Well, they will not be benefit directly from the sale from the refined sugar, but we don't have to pay shipping to move the raw sugar to other markets. It's just going to be shipped right here from say Orange Walk to the Cayo district. So because of those charges, of less charges of transportation and so forth, I think they are telling me, the people in Santander, that our farmers can be able to expect maybe as much as $3 more per ton.
What is the government offering by way of incentives?
Well, the usual what we do, the development concessions include the tax breaks from importation of the necessary equipment and so forth. One critical part to it is that we have to have a discussion with BL, because Santander has signed an agreement with BL to provide electricity. And if they do not meet the amount of electricity that they have to provide, they can be penalized. With this new project, they are going to use a small portion, not the full, but some of the energy that's being sold to the grid to be able to power this refinery. And so that said, then we have to talk to BL to see if they can remove that clause to penalize them, because this project is very important for us as a country.
Zooming out for the local to the international, we also asked the Prime Minister about the multiple warships in the U.S. that has U.S. deployed to the Caribbean, including what President Donald Trump described as a deadly strike on a Venezuelan drug vessel. U.S. officials have since made it clear that military action in the region is not over, suggesting more operations that could target drug trafficking. Today, the media asked the PM his views about it.
Well, I can't speak for CARICOM, but of course we would be concerned. But at the same time, we're also very concerned about these narco traffickers. And we need to find ways so we can keep them where they are and not allow them to be able to come into countries like Belize and to create havoc. And as I've said from when I was given the privilege to be the Prime Minister of this country, I've always said one of my biggest concerns is narco trafficking and see how we can keep them out of Belize as best as we possibly can. And we're spending millions of dollars trying to do that, and we are paying a heavy price for that. But I don't think that keeping our citizens safe has a price tag.
Yesterday, we asked the foreign minister about drug trafficking throughout the region as drug shipments head to the United States, which is the world's largest consumer of illicit drugs. He discussed the regional approach to narco trafficking.
Well, I think two points to make. One is that Belize is very committed to working with our international partners, including the United States government, on combating any criminal illicit activity along our borders or in the region. We're always very concerned as a government about narco trafficking, human trafficking. So we are already working with many different countries, Mexico, the United States, even with Guatemala. We work with them to combat these threats to our national security. So we are absolutely prepared to welcome any effort to tackle narco trafficking in our region. It's a real threat to the social fabric of our country, to our economic development, to our national security. At the same time, of course, the Caribbean, we're very proud of the fact in the Caribbean that we have been a zone of peace. We have always lauded that in our meetings, CARICOM meetings. We talked about that quite a bit. So I know that within our CARICOM community, there is concern about what is taking place. I think the issue is really more about communication, finding out more about what is taking place. So we've had that discussion in CARICOM, and CARICOM is seeking to engage with the United States government so that we can be better informed about exactly what they are doing and what they have planned. Because our commitment is to ensure that the Caribbean remains a zone of peace.
And now changing gears and changing the mood completely, we have coverage of the final frenzied night of mass camp visits in Belize. Clifford Mejia went into each band's territory.
Good night, Belize. We're here at Mass Camp Coverage Night 3, and we're here at Mother Nature Band, showing their colorful outfits and basic but crazy moves. These dancers are outrageous and they're full of energy. We're going to Soca Mocha tonight to see what they have to offer. I'm your host, Clifford Mejia. Come along with us.
This year is a moonlight carnival where Africans weave dream catchers to summon spirit, bending winds to protect a sacred flower from unseen forces. We have 8 lovely sections that I am so excited and I feel very confident in everything that we've done so far in preparation. So we have the Sunfire Blossom, we have Celestial Orchids, which symbolize like the black orchid from, the national symbols. We also have the Storm Petal, Fragile Beauty, Lightning Bloom, Fury of the Wind, Spirit of Isolation, Eye of the Storm, and Storm Range.
Which one is the biggest section?
I would say all of them are equally entwined. So each section have like the same amount of people, like 15 revelers per section or more.
How many revelers do you have in total?
Right now we have 130 revelers.
What should people expect on the road Saturday?
Beer, energy, and excitement, the colors, everything. I am just saying energy. Look out to see me as well.
You ready for bash?
Of course.
You ready for the party?
Yes.
All right, Miss Audrey, talk to me how you feel about Saturday.
For Saturday, I feel very positive. I feel very positive. On Saturday, I have 210 members on a road. This year, our team is Echoes of Soca Mocha Legacy. This was us then, 50 years celebrating us now. Well, we decided to do that team because one, we want, since our 50 years, we want to bring back some of our old costume, our old memories. So that's why we choose that team. And then with this year, we celebrate 25 years of Carnival, but 10 years with my aunt and 15 years with me. I have 5 different sections, but I have 13 different costumes. Each section have 2 or 3 costumes. So the details, the imagination, every day run wild with us, and we just decide to go wild with everything, being the 50 years.
Why should people come out and, bash with Soca Mocha on Saturday?
Well, of course, I could put my life on the line that most of everybody will come out on Saturday, come out to see the people's band, Soca Mocha.
This is our last mass coverage. It was a long day, a long 2 nights. We came here, we showed you guys Sunshine Masqueraders, Titans, Soca Massive, and now we end off tonight with a bang. Soca Mocha and Mother Nature. Wilson wasn't here to end it off with me, but we had a good night. We showed you guys what's up and the beautiful costumes. You guys should definitely come out and join us. Even if you don't want to come out and watch us on the side, you can watch us at home on Saturday, 1 p.m. we start off. Join Courtney, Miriam, and Wilson Greenwich to show you guys what this beautiful Carnival 2025 Road March has to offer. I'm your host, Clifford Mejia. Let's end it.
And while, as you can see, the bands had full sound and fury, the Carnival Road March set for Saturday, September 6th, may be missing a few bands this year. The Minister of Culture said it is not a shortage of bands, but it's because the bands have actually gotten bigger.
Neither of those things. The Carnival bands are actually bigger. They have fewer, as you said, 2 Carnival bands are not participating this year. Because 1 or 2 of them, I think, merged based on the report we got from the Carnival Association. But every band is bigger. So the number of revelers, the number of Carnival masqueraders is more than ever before. That is what you should be pointing out.
And that's our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening. Join Miriam Abdul-Kawi here tomorrow. Enjoy.